right, welcome to another episode of Piecing It Together, the podcast where we take a look at a new movie and try to figure out what movies might have inspired it. And today on the show, we are talking about Freakier Friday, the legacy sequel to the remake that starred Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis and is a bit of a modern classic. And now we get to this legacy sequel to the remake reboot. It's a fun time, let's put it that way. And we're going to have a fun time talking about it with Tia Bean rejoining the show, getting to a lot of great puzzle pieces, and fun conversation coming up here in a second. Before we get to it, I want to remind you, as always, to make sure you are subscribed to Piecing It Together wherever you listen to podcasts. Wherever you're listening right now, hit that subscribe button. And with that said, let's talk about Freakier Friday. All right, I'm Tia Bean, and joining me today is David Rosen to talk about Freakier Friday. How's it going, David?
Hey, I like what you did there.
Yeah.
That's pretty clever. They caught me off because I'm so tired right
Yeah,
now.
me too. I wasn't sure I'd be able to actually spit those words out, but it worked out well, so yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm great. It's 8 a.m. I got my coffee, so in like 5 minutes I'll be really great.
Yeah, we gotta warm this episode up, but we'll get there for sure. I'm in the same boat. I am excited to talk about this. This will be a fun one. You had kind of lined this up a while ago. You were like, if you're going to do Freakier Friday, I'm your girl. Let's do this. And I wasn't even 100% sure if I'd see this movie in the theaters. Like, I liked the original. It was fun, but my wife had just rewatched it on a plane recently. And so she had just been talking about it, and then you had brought it up, and then I was just like, you know what? All right, let's do this. Let's watch Freakier Friday. Let's see some silly, goofy body switching fun. Why not?
Yeah. Oh, well, shout out to your wife because it's totally worth it. I was so surprised by this movie. Like, I wasn't sure. Like, I was like, what if it's a train wreck? What if it's like really terrible? But also, like, if it was terrible, I would still enjoy it because I really like bad movies.
Sure. Yeah.
But I would feel bad for your sake and for like dragging you through it, making you spend money on something you didn't want to see and, thoroughly not enjoying it.
Yeah.
But we would still have a lot to talk about, I swear. Like
exactly.
We could just debate on, opinions and stuff.
Yeah.
Although up to now, I feel like you and I have both agreed on movies for the most part.
Yeah.
And like every podcast I've done, I've liked the movie. The only one I was like, didn't like was Death of a Unicorn, which was so
terrible,
disappointing. Yes. I still liked several parts. I still had a lot of nice things to say. Because, they did it. They made the movie. But this one, quite the opposite. I went in with like zero expectations. I was like, it's going to be dumb. It's going to be like cringy the entire time, I swear. And it really wasn't. It was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is, it's obviously Disney. It's family fun, but it's pulled off really well. There's a lot of really good laughs throughout. There's a lot of heart with all this stuff, and it's very silly and goofy. But I had a really good time with it. It's also very for a family Disney, kind of plain kind of movie. It's very weird, which I very much appreciate, and I think we'll probably get into as we're going into some puzzle pieces here. But let's start getting into the puzzle pieces. What do you have for your first puzzle piece for Freakier Friday?
Oh, okay. Well, that being said, I've told you this before, that I go into these fully prepared as much as possible. I don't have as many puzzle pieces as I typically do. I typically have like 2 pages.
Yeah, sure.
Well researched. But this one, I only watched the movie once before doing the podcast. However, leading up to it, I tried to watch as many body swap movies as I could.
Okay.
So in about a 24-hour period, I watched 17 again, 17 again, 18 again, vice versa, and the original Freaky Friday.
Okay, real quick, for those listening who don't know, and mainly I mean me, are those 17 Agains and 18 Agains movies related? Are those sequels, remakes, etc.?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
So There's 17 again with Zac Efron and Matthew Perry, which is a great movie. There's 17 SEVENTEEN with Tia and Tamara.
All right.
There's 18 again with, oh my God, what's his name? Oh, I should have known this. This is why I need to research. He's like a comedian and he always smokes cigars.
George Burns.
Yeah, George Burns.
Oh, okay. All right.
Becomes a teenager and it's very bizarre. And then I watched the original Freaky Friday. And also vice versa. Vice versa has a very young baby, Fred Savage, and it's Judge Reinhold. And that is also quite strange. So my piece, I would say of all of those movies, the one most similar to this movie would be 17 again with Tia and Tamara.
Okay.
Yes. Know a little bit about me. I'm obsessed with Tia and Tamara for obvious reasons. And they were like my entire childhood watching Sister Sister. I love Twitches, but I didn't know about this movie until doing this research. And in this movie, the grandparents end up becoming teenagers again and falling back in love. So I thought that was really interesting and quite similar to the sequel of Freaky Friday, where, spoiler alert for those who have not seen it, the grandmother becomes the granddaughter,
right.
and and then the mom becomes the grandmother becomes the friend or the stepsister.
The stepsister,
and
yes, yeah.
It was so confusing too, and I'm so proud of myself for being able to keep track of it the entire time. But they were also really good about keeping it obvious, who was who, and I didn't get that confused through it.
I did get quite confused, and I even wrote in my letterbox, this is like Charlie Kaufman levels of confusion and mixing up characters, and it is very tough to keep track of four characters all switching. If they were to make another sequel to this and end up making it 3 and 3, I think I would be finished. I don't know how I would be able to handle all that, but yeah. 17 again, I certainly have not seen, but of course, Sister Sister, I remember it, and that whole era of stuff. I know you love the 2000s and all that stuff.
It will be very, very obvious by the end of this podcast, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All
also,
right.
But that being said, surprisingly, the original Freaky Friday was not very similar to the remake with Lindsay Lohan. I was so surprised because I had watched it. I was more of a Parent Trap kid than a Freaky Friday kid. God, what is her name? Jody something. Oh God, she was a child actress. I'm so not well researched today.
Oh no. Yeah, I don't know.
Jodie Foster.
Is it? It's Jodie Foster? Okay, all right, cool.
Baby Jodie Foster, and she's great. But I felt like vice versa with Fred Savage and Judge Reinhold was so much more similar to Freaky Friday in the fact that it is the magic is mysticism.
Yeah.
So in vice versa, they find this Indiana Jones artifact piece that's really cool looking. It's like a skull upside down. It's super cool. And that's the thing that makes them body swap. So in the original Freaky Friday, it was the fortune cookie. And then in this one, it was the psychic. But in the original OG Jodie Foster Freaky Friday, it's just a wish that they make.
Yeah.
And there's no physical item attached to it or any sort of magic or mysticism. They literally are just thinking it and then they swap. And something really angered me about that, actually, because let me go off on a tangent here.
Let's do it.
The beginning of the movie, when they make the wish to do the body swap, their bodies stay in the same place, but their consciousness switches. But at the end of the movie, the consciousness stays in place and then the bodies switch, which leads to this all the shenanigans because like the mom ends up jet skiing and like uh
My
the
brain
daughter.
is it's too early for all this, Tia.
Yeah. And then like the daughter ends up driving a car and it's just like uh I understand that it's all ridiculous and it's all shenanigans and
Yeah.
like there isn't an exact science to like body swapping or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it like really upset me. Um but in the sequel of Freakier Friday, it actually didn't bother me that it was like a different thing causing the body swap.
Uh-huh.
Um but they stayed pure. They stayed pure to like the body staying and the consciousness switching and it being at night when they're asleep. Like, and then at the end, it's instantaneous. It's a little bit different, but it's like, I don't know. It's felt much truer to me.
Yeah, and plus we
So,
get Vanessa Bayer as the fortune teller, who is just so funny and so great. I love her.
yes.
Yeah, so at least we get that. But yeah, none of that bothered me necessarily. I was just too busy trying to keep up. But
Yeah.
lots of great stuff in there with that first piece, and
Yeah.
I got to watch 18 again. That sounds like it would be a fun one. But yeah,
It is interesting because you get to see like a teenager or a teen actor. I forgot what his name is too, but he's in a lot of things. Like act like George Burns the
yeah,
entire time. It's a little problematic because like he's
okay,
like obviously like this misogynist, and
sure. Yeah, amazing. I'll
yeah.
go with a little bit easier to follow one for my first one here. And aside from all the body swapping, we do have these two as sister and stepsister to be that hate each other and hate that their parents are going to get married. I went with Step Brothers with John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell
Oh,
for my first one. Their whole plan is basically to ruin the parents' marriage, but that in doing so brings them together and makes them love each other, and then
yeah.
they end up becoming best buddies. And so it's certainly a fun way to set up these characters as hating each other and bring them together by the end, which is it's sweet, it's funny, it's a little bit ridiculous, and they kind of come off as pretty shitty at times, but at the same time they're going through a lot of emotions. So
But like teen girls are sociopaths.
yeah,
Like they
yeah,
are.
yeah.
And I'd like to say that adult women are not sociopaths.
Hmm.
Some of us grow out of it and some of us just get better at it,
Yeah,
but like teen girls, like, man, like looking back on some of the things like I did, and then some of the things like the quote unquote bullies did, like it's pretty awful.
yeah.
Oh God, my sister was so mean to me growing up. She completely has blacked this out of her memory,
Mm.
and does not remember any of it. But like thinking back on it, like a few times with like her and her friend bullying me, like, yeah, that's it's pretty believable. I thought it was pretty realistic how much they hated each other.
Okay.
So,
All right. Yeah, and,
anyway,
and, and I didn't
now you
have
know too much about me.
I yeah, right. Well, I didn't have a sibling, so yeah, I didn't hatch any plans with anybody or any of that kind of stuff. I just sat around playing video games. So let's
Aw.
let's go on to another puzzle piece. What do you got?
For sure. So that being said, your side is like the teen girls like hating each other and then eventually like plot together and they come together. This one is actually like the opposite side with like the grandma and the daughter basically having like, oh, and well, I guess the two stepsisters also kind of do this. They have like a full day of like joy,
Hmm.
you know, where they get to be teens and they get to go out and they get to like do crazy stuff and they steal a car. And I felt like it felt a lot like Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
Sure. Sure.
especially with the car. Um, and uh the teen girls who are the adults end up getting the car, they actually like have like a kind of, I feel like, throwback to that movie where they like speed over the hill and they're like airborne for a
Totally.
minute. Felt like that was very Ferris Bueller. But it also was like really sweet to see like these two teen girls who are actually like older women, get to experience like youth again
Sure.
and like eat foods and like it was really sad when they like fell off their scooters and they're like, we're fine.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Like it doesn't hurt, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Um, so it was kind of cool. And I felt like that, rang true to like the freedom and the freeing qualities of Ferris Bueller, especially like the character of Cameron who gets to actually like enjoy life for one day,
Totally.
in that movie. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, great one. Also, shout out to Gina because she mentioned that one on our walk back out, to the car
Mhm.
after the movie. So yeah, definitely one that was on my mind as well. And yeah, all that stuff about like being able to enjoy youth for that one day. I mean, that's where the fun comes in, and it is a really great scene and some really fun stuff going on there. I will go with so this is more of a you know, a why it got made maybe puzzle piece kind of thing. But Halloween, the 2018 reboot series, whether you like or don't like these movies, the
Mm,
idea of Jamie Lee Curtis and the fact that everybody just loves her and wants to see her come back to some of these classic roles. I know a lot of people want a True Lies remake or
mm,
sequel at some point. But to bring her back, everybody loves her. Obviously won an Oscar a couple of years ago. She's going through this whole resurgence, and she says that she's like in slow down to retirement mode, but she certainly doesn't seem like it. She's constantly doing
right.
something, and I feel like Halloween kind of kicked that off with bringing her back for that
Mm,
and bringing back this iconic role of hers. And I feel like, on the studio side of things, they said, well, what can we bring back next for Jamie Lee Curtis? Because clearly the audience does love to see her, so let's do that. And so Freaky Friday is a big one on the list of things to bring back for her.
oh my God, like a True Lies
Yeah.
like sequel or remake would be fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it one more time. True Lies sequel. I'm gonna put it in the universe, and
Yeah.
then maybe the powers that be
I think it's going to
will make that
happen.
happen.
I honestly think it's going to happen. This movie did really well. The Halloween movies they're kind of terrible, honestly, but I feel like they did well enough that they're still banking on her, and I think that that's like pretty up there in
Yeah.
the list of things that's going to happen. But let's go on to another one. What do you got next?
Oh, I was gonna say, but that being said, as
Hmm.
well, the fact that Lindsay Lohan is back, like for
True.
me, I don't know. Some people don't like her, whatever. I'm obsessed. And it's been so great to see her like older and sober and like having this like sort of renaissance, because she is actually a really amazing actress and people don't
Hmm.
really give her credit for it. My husband was saying like that she's really good at crying and she cries in all of her movies and her eyes look really great when she cries. I don't know
Yeah.
what that means, but
Yeah, I mean she's good. You're absolutely right.
yeah.
She's good and obviously the outside world just kind of crept in and took over her
Yeah.
image and everything going on. And so yeah, but it's good to see her back and hopefully she'll get
I
some good
mean,
meaty roles at some point.
she was caught up in that like Y2K, like let's hate teenage girls, like whole like TMZ vibe, where like we're
Which
just
is always basically, but
yeah, that's true.
but
Like
maybe she survived it. So, yeah.
I'd like to think now that all of us who were teen girls at that time are adults now kind of see how terrible it was and how like awful we were to like Paris Hilton and like Britney Spears, at that time. And Lindsay Lohan definitely was one of them. Like we ragged on her, for being like herself and like being a teen, like child star, like they usually go through troubled times,
Yeah.
and good for her for surviving because some don't.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets through on the other side. And yeah, no, love her. Like that fucking Lifetime Christmas movie that she was in was terrible, but I wanted to see it.
Mhm.
Um and I'm just hoping there's like a Lifetime. I'm gonna put this in the universe too. A Lifetime movie with Lindsay Lohan and Vanessa Hudgens uh happening sometime in the future, maybe a fourth Princess Switch movie,
Sure.
something like that. Don't get me started on how amazing those movies are. Uh, but yes, so happy to see both of them back. So,
Absolutely.
anyways, yeah, that's my puzzle piece now, isn't it? Okay, so speaking of Miss Lohan, I'm gonna put two in. Um, I felt like this movie definitely called back to some of Miss Lohan's most iconic works.
Mm,
And that being Mean Girls, of course, probably being her like most iconic movie and like a perfect film.
sure.
Um, but another one I rewatched again yesterday, and actually have on VHS, which
N-
I'm so proud of,
nice.
is Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen,
Mm,
which is kind of like a hidden gem. Like I totally forgot about that movie until recently, and I hadn't watched it as a high schooler when it came out, and I like watched it recently and really enjoyed it. But I felt like with the fashion and how they dressed Lindsay Lohan in this movie felt very much like her character in Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. And like the two like daughters, the daughter and the stepdaughter, felt very much like the two main characters, where one is kind of a pathological liar,
hmm
and says things and acts very dramatic to get attention. And the other one is just kind of awkward in her own skin and, you know, uh, kind of in the shadow of the other, trying to become her own. And that's very much like the two main characters in that film. Mean Girls, I felt like the movie had like a very similar sense of humor as Mean Girls, which is amazing.
Sure.
Mean Girls has an incredible cast. It's really like the adults that are funny in Mean Girls. Like I won't like knock Regina George and the teens are funny, but like the B cast,
Yeah.
the adults, the teachers are so funny, and it's such a good cast. And in Freakier Friday, like the same thing. Like
Sure.
the adults, maybe not the main cast, because the focus is on the two teen girls, are just super funny. And I was like really really happy that they brought back Mark Harmon, because I
Sure.
love NCIS, and Hayden Christensen,
hmm
his beautiful face came back, and they're all so funny, and they're all like this elevated, like, um, version of what they were in this original movie. And yeah, I just felt like this movie was like a great compilation to like the body of work of Lindsay Lohan. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Right on, right on. Yeah, and I just recently watched Mean Girls again, and yeah, it's freaking so good. And you're totally right. All of the adult characters are the most
Mhm.
funny parts of the movie, and I think you could definitely say that here as well. So that's a really great observation there. I don't remember if I ever saw Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, but was that also Megan Fox? That was the two of them.
Megan Fox is
Yeah.
such a baby in
Oh,
that movie.
wow.
So much. Uh I love her. I was also talking about Jennifer's Body.
hmm
To be fair, ooh, my pen just flew out of its thing. To be fair, when we did Lisa Frankenstein, I
hmm
had said I hadn't watched Jennifer's Body
Oh, that's
at that
right.
point,
Yeah, yeah.
and I've watched it since. Since we're talking about Megan Fox, I have to like shout out to this film. I think that's my favorite movie now. I
I
was
told
so
you you would love
disappointed,
that. I told you you would love that
so
movie.
so disappointed that I hadn't watched it as a kid, because that would have had such an impact on me as a kid. Because sometimes like movies really shape who you become. And
Sure.
I was just so sad that like that didn't, affect me as a kid watching this movie. Because I feel like I would have had a deeper appreciation for like, comedy horror, at the time. But watching it now, I was just like, this movie like is so perfect for me. Um, I love the boy that has a crush on Megan Fox's character. Like I fully identified with him. I was like, I'm him, the
Hmm.
like weird emo kid who wants to take her to Rocky Horror, and she's like, I don't like boxing movies.
Yeah.
That's like that was like totally me in high school, and yeah, oh my god, such a great film.
It's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, baby Megan Fox, yes, is in Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. So,
Right on.
and she's great. So,
So I'll go for my next one that I thought maybe you would end up bringing up, but I wasn't sure. But Josie and the Pussycats.
oh my god,
Yeah,
yes, I
yeah.
watched that. That
Oh,
was on my list.
all
Yeah.
right, cool. Yeah, I mean all the music stuff. The Lindsay Lohan ending up in a kind of producer A&R kind of role, and all that behind the scenes of the music business stuff, and but wanting to be in the actual, in the band and performing and kind of putting that to the wayside and all that. It fits really well in with a lot of the stuff going on in Josie and the Pussycats, and that is the next movie I feel like we are in need of a remake, reboot, sequel, whatever it may be.
A sequel would be great,
Yeah.
definitely. If we can have Parker Posey and Alan Cummings come back for it,
Hmm.
that would be the only way. And the whole cast of Du Jour coming back
Sure,
as
sure.
well.
Hell yeah.
That's another movie I didn't really watch in my youth and like as an adult, like got my hands on. And I recently watched it like maybe a day ago. And oh my God, is that also a perfect movie? Um, it's just like the humor is so ridiculous and like the commentary on like subliminal messaging and also like such a fantastic cast, like so surprising. Like as soon
Yeah,
as I saw Parker Posey, I was like, oh my goodness, like this is anytime she's in anything, like
totally.
I'm in love with it.
She's the best.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but that totally was on my list. That I was definitely thinking about that one for
Sweet.
sure.
Yeah, and that's a movie I got to rewatch soon. It's been way too long. But what do you have next then?
Okay, this is my last one
Okay.
that I have. I don't really have any other ideas. And this was one my husband brought up, was Clueless.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly because of the setting of Los Angeles. And I feel like Clueless is such a love letter to Beverly Hills and LA, and you get to see like some really iconic places like Circus Liquor, which is in North Hollywood, and Rodeo Drive. And it really feels like a very Los Angeles movie. And I lived in LA for 12 years. LA means so much to me. And I ran a walking tour in LA. So like the iconic historical sites are so important to me. And anytime I see a film like really showcase these iconic places
Yeah.
in Los Angeles, like it really warms my heart. It makes me excited too because film is moving out of LA.
Yeah.
Not everything is filmed there anymore. And that's something that's going to be lost is, having these like I don't know, seeing the like an Angeline billboard or something like that that's so LA.
Sure.
Uh, I absolutely love that they mentioned, they filmed at the Wiltern and, her work is Capitol Records. These are places that like I used to go to and like walk by and see every single day. And, I moved to LA to become an actress, which, everyone does. Uh, which meant I waited tables for 10 years.
Hmm.
And like seeing these spots like the Hollywood sign and stuff like that, like really always reminded me of that I was just a piece in something so important and so historical and that had this amazing legacy, and I don't really feel that as much out here in Las Vegas,
Yeah, yeah.
even though there is some great history. Like my heart is so still in Los Angeles. And watching this movie, I got the same feeling when we did Maxine,
Hmm.
uh, because I had actually worked at Universal Studios and was a tour guide. Like when she's doing that run through the back
Sure.
lot, like it brought me back and like that movie was also such a love letter to Hollywood itself. My husband also wanted me to mention Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Yeah.
but I was like, that's only because it's in LA.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
these movies really show like how beautiful the city is. And um I felt like it was very realistic too, because if you're a music producer in LA, you're gonna talk about the Troubadour and,
Sure,
you
sure.
know, the Sunset Strip and stuff like that. So I felt like even though it was kind of name droppy, like uh, I felt like it really was real. When you're in LA, you're proud that you're there. You're proud that you're a piece of this. You brag about it.
Yeah.
Uh, so just some of the set, like the settings, like the locations were just like so beautiful. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it. So yeah,
I
Clueless.
I'm with you because yeah, both are movies that really make great use of their location,
Yeah.
and I think if this movie had been just like a Disney Plus thing or something like that, it probably would have
Mhm.
been budgeted on the lower side to where they couldn't like really take in all of that. And I think it's great that this turned into a big theatrical movie, which it's doing really well in the box office. So it's a good thing that they made that
Yeah.
decision, but it might not have been able to take advantage of so many great locations and stuff like that. And you go back to your Ferris Bueller's Day Off puzzle piece, and like that whole scene of them like just taking everything in and going out and having fun, and that you're seeing a lot of different locations throughout that, and
Oh
it
yeah,
you're
that's
getting
like
in a lot there.
oh God, what's his name? Who does all those films? Oh no. He did all like the Rat Pack films and
Yeah, John
everything.
Hughes.
John Hughes, yes.
Yeah,
His stuff is always a love letter to Chicago.
sure.
And yeah, yeah, Ferris Bueller definitely showed that off quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh yeah.
Well, I'll go to my last puzzle piece, and that's going to be Bill and Ted Face the Music. Which the idea of this being a legacy sequel,
Mm,
where we take what happened, this big high concept comedy movie, and we take exactly what happened to those characters in the first one, and not only does it happen to them again all these years later, but also happens to their kids all these years later, and then we're kind
mhm.
of following both of them on their separate but connected adventures through this again like high concept weird big idea comedy adventure. I think that is a really fun way to do it rather than, for example, a Ghostbusters Afterlife or something like that, where it's just this new round of kids, and it's like, who cares about these kids? And then the Ghostbusters show up in the last scene. Like I'm glad that we're following the original characters just as much as the new characters, and I get it; it's a new generation. We gotta focus on the new teenagers, but at the same time, if you're gonna make a legacy sequel, we want to see the originals. That's what we come for. I didn't love Bill and Ted Face the Music. I think this actually does it much better. This idea of what I'm saying here of taking the original characters and their kids and mixing them all up into a big adventure that's similar to the original. I think this does it much better than Bill and Ted Face the Music does. But I think as far as a puzzle piece, it works really well to wrap us up here.
Oh yeah. No, I agree as well. That is a really good puzzle piece. I also didn't really like the sequel to Bill and Ted very much.
Yeah,
But I do miss Keanu making comedy. I
yeah,
think uh as much as I love John Wick because they pay my bills.
sure, sure.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah. Uh I do miss him in comedy, uh, quite a bit. So that was refreshing to see him back being silly, and everything. But yeah, I felt like it wasn't done great. And this Freakier Friday was definitely a much better, well-rounded movie,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
kind of could stand alone. You didn't really have to know what the first one was about,
Sure.
to appreciate it and watch it.
Yeah,
Um,
it works either way. And by the way, to the point of Keanu Reeves in comedy, he's going to be in Good Fortune in a couple of months, the new Aziz Ansari film, and that looks like
hmm,
it's going to be really funny. So it's
okay,
good to see
cool.
him back in some kind of comedy for a change. But I do love John Wick. So yes, I think that's a great list of pieces we got here. Any closing thoughts? Anything else you want to mention here?
Uh, you know, um, it just was a great movie. I loved seeing everybody come back for the film. It was a great extension of the story. I hope they don't make a third one,
Hmm.
you know, because it would be very unhinged and it would be jumping the shark, no doubt, you know. Although I would love to see Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan pair up again.
Sure.
They're also great doing their own individual thing, you know. Hopefully we do see Lindsay Lohan do a lot more. I mean, she's living in Dubai and living her great life, so we can't ask for too much of her.
Yeah.
But no, I really, really enjoyed it. It was fun and colorful and sentimental and uh wasn't too sappy, you
Hmm.
know, or too ridiculous. It was very good.
Yeah.
And, I was very pleased with it. So
You,
yeah.
you you just used the word colorful, and that's actually the other thing I was going to say. Movies are so damn dark nowadays, and this movie is so
Yeah.
bright and colorful. And again, maybe it was, it's a Disney thing, so maybe that's part of it. I don't
Mhm.
know, but like, yeah, it was fun to see a movie in the theaters that was actually like bright and colorful. I think of The Naked Gun, which I loved earlier last month, and that was also bright and full of color, and like it was actually like you could see things happening. Like let's get more of that going on in movies. That would
Yeah.
make me very happy. Also more Vanessa Bayer in movies. Let's do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was something, like, so great about movies, particularly, like, teen movies in, like, the '90s and early 2000s that were, like, so, like, fashion forward,
Mm,
you know? Like, everybody wore, like, mixed plaids and, like, Vivienne Westwood inspired stuff, and there was always a, like, getting dressed montage,
mm-hmm.
and they had that in this movie, and I felt like the fashion was very Y2K, but, like, definitely contemporary at the same time, and, like, let's have more of that. Let's have more of people wearing stuff they would never wear in real life. Like, let's have
Sure.
more fantasy,
All
you
for
know?
it. All for it. Absolutely. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap up Freakier
Mhm.
Friday. Tia, is there another movie you watched recently you'd like to recommend to our listeners?
Oh, I don't know.
I
What
mean,
did I
you
watch recently
you did
in
mention that you
theaters?
watched like 7 body swap movies, so I guess you could,
I
just
did.
rest on that and say, throw
Yes.
all those
I
out,
would say
but
I was surprised with 17 Again with Zac Efron was so good,
okay.
as well,
All
you
right.
know? Uh, this watching I will say this too, watching Freakier Friday was kind of, like, jarring because it's been such a long time since I've seen something that wasn't a horror movie
Mm,
in theaters that, like, even the previews, like, threw me off,
yeah.
like, because they were all, like, family movies and, like, family movies, like, the previews like to tell the entire story so you feel safe, so going in there's going to be a happy ending,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't have to worry. So that was really, really strange. So I need to get back and watch some more horror movies because as much as I love Freaky Friday, it was very, I don't know, like, it was very, out of my element,
Yeah,
you know?
I'm with you. I'm with you. Every trailer they showed for me was just like, "Oh my god, what
Yeah.
is this? What have I got myself into today?" But I like the movie, so that's good. But yeah, Tia, tell people what you're up to and where they can find you.
Sorry, I just remembered a movie I saw that I really liked.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
Megan 2.0 was fabulous,
Hell yeah.
and that is a hill I will die on.
I'm with
I
you.
guess
You know it.
that's all that needs to be said.
Yeah.
Where can people find me? You can find me working at the John Wick Experience here in Las Vegas as an actor. I also will be working part-time at Universal Horror Unleashed, so come and check me out and see my fabulous theatrical skills. I'll be coming out in a few short films, some indie films. One by Julian Barris, who wrote Stab, which was a fan film for Scream. We're working on one called Missing. That's kind of a paranormal activity, demonic style movie.
Cool.
And that one's going to come out probably beginning of September. We just have like one more scene to film. I'm going to be in another movie called The Doll, which is about a possessed doll, but that's not really what's going on. That's a lot of fun because I get to play the villain, quote unquote villain, in that movie. And later this year, I'll be filming a film called Jane Doe. Kale Martin is creating that, so I will be in that. He's been on your show a couple times.
Yeah.
And yeah, other than that, you can find me on Instagram at Tia is the coolest.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for doing this, Tia. I know scheduling has been a little rough lately. I know you're very busy, but happy to get you back on the show, and we will do it again sometime.
Yeah, thank you for humoring me and doing this movie.
Absolutely. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that conversation about Freakier Friday. Thanks to Tia Bean for joining me on that one, and thank you to all of you for listening. If you're enjoying Piecing It Together, make sure you are subscribed. You can also follow me on social media at PiecingPod and join our Facebook group, Popcorn and Puzzle Pieces, where we continue the conversation about all the movies we talk about here on the show. With that said, let's close this out with a piece of music like I always do. And you guys know, aside from my instrumental, serious David Rosen music, I also make silly songs with my pets, the Pups. And I said on the way out of this movie, I need to make a Freakier Friday song for the Pups where me and my dog Harvey body swap and sing from each other's perspective. I haven't done that yet, but I think it's on the table. I think it's something I'm going to do very soon. But that being said, instead, I'm going to go with a song that already exists, also from the Pups. This is a song called Getting Old. It's all about the problems and issues and all the things that we go through getting old as an old dog from the perspective of just Harvey. But hope you enjoy it, and we'll be back with more Piecing It Together real soon.
Because I'm deaf and I also can't really see too well, but come on, let's sing! If you feel it, if you feel it then, if you feel it, if you feel it then, sing it with
All Points West production, produced by David Rosen in Las Vegas.